Hi, welcome to live stream Yoga with Louise. Tips and cues to keep you safe and strong on the mat. Today we are contouring the whole body. Think shape, tone, strength. As always, play where you're comfortable, modify when you need to, rest when you need to. You ready? Let's hit the mat. We're going to start today's class standing towards the back end of the mat with a little bit of runway in front. Look down towards your feet, square them up underneath your hips. Start to stand up nice and tall and prepare for some parallel roll downs. Take a big breath in, think soft ribs, soft belly. On the exhale, as the ribs fall in, start to roll down, giving me a hollow belly and a rounded back as you peel down one vertebra at a time. Take a recovery inhale at the end of your movement and use the whole exhale to restack, realign. Start to find a little rhythm of your own, giving me at least 4 more roll downs, peeling down with control, making sure that you're executing your movement with your breath. Keep all 10 toes looking to the front of your mat. Control the roll down using your spine, using your abs. Make sure when you're peeling up that you're restacking knees over ankles, hips over knees, shoulders over hips, head center aligned. When you next find yourself in a roll down pattern, find your way into a plank line, bending the knees as much as you need to walk out either into a full plank or you can come to a 4-point kneeling hold with a long line through the neck and the spine. Hold for at least 10 seconds, pushing the mat strongly away, core nice and strongly braced, back working, abs working, legs working. Body line nice and parallel to the mat. Then relax from here into a 4-point kneeling frame on the mat. We're going to work the left side of the body first. So drop down onto the right elbow. Float the right arm in so that it's parallel to the front of the mat. The left hand, you can either give me a flat hand or maybe high spider fingertips on the mat as we come to a little spine hydrant. You're going to hover the left knee just off the floor. Open it out to about hip height and come back to your start position. 10 times we're going to lift and lower. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. You're going to end high and you're going to pulse the heel in towards the midline and float back to your start position. Moving that whole limb parallel to the floor. As you squeeze the heel in towards the midline, you're going to feel those glutes. Let's do 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, we're going to find our way from here onto the side of the body and we're going to set up a little climb line on the mat. Making sure you're pressing off your forearms and not collapsing into the mat. Ribs up nice and high, heels on the same axis as your spine. We're going to open and close the legs, keeping the feet softly clipped together. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. You're going to end in that diamond-like frame. You're going to extend the top leg at about hip height. Make sure that the hip, the knee, the ankle are in one long line. This is going to be your start and your end position for the movement. You're going to give me a leg pull forward and back to your start position, keeping the leg at about the same height off the mat and you're not collapsing down through that elbow. You're keeping the ribs up nice and high. Let's do 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. close the legs, find your way to a high kneeling frame, facing once more towards the top end of the mat, shoulders, hips, knees stacked. We're going to play on the left side of the body. You're going to drop the arm down towards the floor and back to your start position. We're going to do 10 little drops and come back. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. We're going to find our way back into our original standing position via a plank walk back. Ease your way back into your plank line. Think down dog as you begin to walk your hands towards your legs, checking that your feet are stacking in parallel underneath your hips. Lead with the back of your ribs as you restack, realign, and take it immediately into 5 roll downs. Nodding your chin to your chest, hollowing out your belly, rounding out your back as you roll up and down with control through the back, control through the abs. Using your breath. Keep belly to spine the whole time that you're playing. Then when you next find yourself in a roll down pattern, take it into a plank walkout and then hold. Nice and strong. Body line parallel to the mat, pushing the mat strongly away, strong through the arms, strong through the legs. Let's hold for a further 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. Drop down to the knees. Ease down onto the left elbow. Float the arm in parallel to the front of the mat and set up your fire hydrant on side 2. Beginning to lift and lower the right knee out to the side of the room and back. Let's do 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. You're going to end high. Pulse the heel in towards the midline and back. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 more to go. Then we're going to find our way onto side 2 for silent clam. So my back line is going to be towards you on this one. Set up your clam high on that bottom elbow, ribs nice and high. When you're ready and you've checked your form, you're going to begin opening and closing the legs, keeping the feet softly together. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. You're going to end in the open position. Extend the top leg. Check that your hip, knee, ankle is in one long line. Pull the leg forward and come back to your start position. So you're not giving me a swing of the leg. You're pulling it forward and you're bringing it back to your start position with control. Pretend that you're pulling on a little piece of string through the belly button that pulls the leg forward, and then let go of the string to bring the leg back. Let's do 2 more, and then we'll find our way back into a high kneeling frame on the mat. Make sure that your shoulders, hips, knees are stacked in one long line. Keep that long stack as we drop the right arm closer towards the floor and back to the start position. Two more to go, then we're going to find our way back into our standing frame via a plank walk back. Ease your way back into your plank line. Think down dog as you begin to walk the hands back towards your legs. Check that your feet are in parallel, restack, realign. Hands remain at your side, or you can place them on your hip points, or you could even open up your arms into T. We're going to come into some knee lifts on the left. We're going to do 3. Pulling the knee in towards the nose, tapping back out. 3 times. Then bring the leg back into parallel and take it into a roll down and roll up. Rinse and repeat. So keep your eye trained on a focal point on the wall in front of you so that you can find your balance as you lift and lower that left knee 3 times into tabletop and then take it into a controlled roll down. We're going to do 3 more of those. And if you find that your balance is off, just keep your eyes softly trained on a focal point on the wall in front of you, or maybe the floor in front of you, just to help with your balance. On your stabilizing side, as you lift and lower that left leg, on your stabilizing side, so your right side, you're thinking shoulder, hip, knee, ankle, all pinned in one long line. Let's do 1 more, and then we'll bring it back into that plank walkout, and we'll play with the plank once we've found it. So when you next find yourself in the roll down, use the roll down to ease your way into a plank walk, bending the knees as much as you need to walk out into your plank. Stay or begin to play on the left side, drawing the left knee in towards the nose and tapping back out 10 times. Find your way back into the 4-point kneeling frame. Relax down into the right elbow. Float the arm in so that it's parallel to the front of the mat. You're going to raise the right knee up and you're going to hold it quite high at about hip height. That will be your start and your end position. And you're going to use the knee to start tracing a big circle in one direction. Maybe you're using the circumference of a large soccer ball as your circumference guideline. You're not rushing through the circle. You're inhaling for half of your circle and you are exhaling for the other half. Big sweeping motions with that leg. Let's do 2 more in this direction and then we'll change and we'll move in the opposite direction. 3 more to go, and then we're going to find our way back into that clam setup. Last one. Close the legs, flip over into the side, set up your high clam line. Make sure that you're pressing actively off that forearm, ribs up nice and high. Begin to open and close for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. You're going to end in the open frame. You're going to extend the top leg. Remember, 1 long line through the hip to the ankle. This time you're going to pull the leg behind you back to your start position. You pull in until you can feel that nice little contraction in the glute and then back to start. Make sure that you're pulling and not swinging, and make sure that you're not coming through your control line. So your hip line, that is your control line. I'm going to call that 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, you're going to find your way from here into your high kneeling frame on the mat. Playing on the left side of the body, we're going to do a drop and a reach to shoulder height 10 times. Drop and reach. Keeping that nice tall stack of shoulder, hip, knee, so that your body remains almost long and stretchy as you reach out to one side. Begin to play with your breath. Let's do 3 more, and then we'll find our way back into our standing frame via the plank walk. Last one. Ease your way back into 4-point kneeling. Step your legs back into your plank. Think down dog as you walk your hands back towards your legs, checking that your feet are in parallel. Restack, realign, leading with the back of your ribs. You're going to give me 3 knee raises on the right. Tapping your toe to the mat and back. Once you've done 3 taps, bring the legs back into parallel. Nod your chin to your chest, hollow out your belly, round out your back as you roll down and back up. We're going to do 4 more sets, and you're just going to find a comfortable rhythm that works for you. No sound as you tap that toe to the mat. So controlling the whole time through the core, making sure it's switched on and working. On your control side, think shoulder, hip, knee, ankle, pinned in one long line. Let's do one more full combination and then we'll bring it into our plank walk and we'll play on the right side of the body. So last full combination. Find your way back into parallel. This time as you find yourself in the roll down pattern, walk out into a full plank, hold. At least 20 seconds, nice and strong. Stay here or play on the right, getting me a knee draw and tap back. Last one, you're going to find your way into 4-point kneeling from here. Drop down into the left elbow, bring the arm in parallel to the front of your mat, and when you're ready, raise the right knee up to about hip height and begin to circle in one direction for 10 revolutions if you can manage it, anywhere between 5 and 10. Inhaling for half, exhaling for half. Once you've done 10 revolutions in one direction, change it up and begin to trace for 10 in the opposite direction. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, we're going to set up our side clam work from here, flipping over onto side 2, making sure that you're pushing off that forearm. When you're ready, you're going to begin to open and close the knees, keeping the feet together for 10 repetitions. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, you're going to end in the diamond frame, extend the top leg, find your control line, leg pull behind you this time, and back to your start. Don't rush the movement, slow and controlled, so that you're actively looking for that work in the glute. Keep the leg long and reaching, as if somebody had grabbed hold of your big toe and was trying to extend the line of that leg. So think long stretch from the hip bone to the toe. Once you've done 10, you're going to close your legs, you're going to find your way back into your high kneeling frame, and you're going to play on the right side of the body. You're going to drop the arm down and then reach up at about shoulder height and float back to start. 10 times you're going to drop and reach on the right side of the body. Let's do 2 more on this side, and then we're going to find our way into a seated frame. So when you're ready, you can sit back, bum to heel, scooch off to one side, sweep the legs out from underneath you, and just maybe take a little wiggle walk to the front end of the mat. We are going to, in a moment, bring it into a roll down. So if you know you need a little bit of support for the back, place your padding in position now. We're going to start finding our way into a boat line before we roll it down. Take a nice high seat, feet are grounded, knees and feet about hip width distance apart, and I want you to actively think of having a little piece of string floating down from the ceiling with a soccer ball, a soft squishy soccer ball suspended at the end of it, and you're squeezing gently into it with the knees. So I want you to keep the knees active the whole time. Start seated up nice and tall, maybe just relaxing your fingertips to the floor, and then don't hollow out. Give me an L lean back and see if you can bring your legs into a boat hold, looking for that long stretch through the spine as you hold for 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, ground the feet. Float the arms out in front and take it into a roll down. Nodding your chin to your chest, hollowing out your belly, rounding out your back, peeling down one vertebra at a time. Inhale, halfway lift just off the shoulders, then press into the feet, squeeze your knees into the ball, look down towards your belly, and peel back up. Relax your hands to the floor, we're coming back into the boat. L lean back, float the legs up into table, either fingers on the floor or hands floating alongside for 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, ground your feet, sit up nice and tall, and take it into a roll down using the whole exhale to peel down with control. Inhale, halfway lift, then press through your feet, squeeze through the knees, look down towards your belly. One last boat, relaxing the arms at your side, fingertips connected to the mat, float up into table, maybe working sans arms, maybe even extending the legs for 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, bend the knees, ground the feet, one more roll down, and we're going to stay on the back this time. So if you do have padding underneath the back, once you've connected to the mat, just scooch your feet in closer, lift your bum up off the mat, slide your padding out, take a recovery breath or two, and then when you're ready, draw the knees up one at a time into a tight tabletop line. So feet and knees squeeze together along the midline. Watch that you're not pulling the knees through the tabletop line. So keep your knees stacking over your hips by pulling up on that imaginary zip from your pubic bone towards your belly button. Using the knees together, you're going to begin to trace a circular pattern in one direction. Maybe using the knees to trace the diameter of a really small tennis ball. Keep moving in the same direction. Inhaling for half and exhaling for half. Let's do one more in this direction, then we're going to change it up. And we're going to begin to play with that same trace, but in the opposite direction. Making sure that you're not rushing through the movement. Inhale for half, exhale for half, and try to make your focus connecting to the full spectrum of your abdominals as you slowly circle those knees. Let's do one more. Then we're going to open up the knees and the feet into parallel. Relax the feet to the mat. Arms can stay on your side, or you could, excuse me, tuck them behind your head as you come into a chest lift. Beginning neutral spine, neutral pelvis. Big breath in to prepare. On the exhale, tilt to 12. Scoop to peel your head, your chest off the mat, and slide your fingertips on the mat as if you were reaching for your heels. Bring it back down. Let's do 4 more, but as slow as you can. So as you peel up, pause and hold. Last chest lift, and then we're going to take it into a bridge line. And once we've found the bridge, we'll play with it. So bring it back down. Check your leg line. Are your feet and your knees still hip width distance apart? Feet not too far from your body line. Begin in neutral pelvis, neutral spine. Tilt your pelvis to 12 o'clock and begin to bleed up into your bridge line. At the apex of your bridge, check that you've got that nice long stretch happening that feeds through the lower belly, through the tops of your thighs, and along through your kneecaps. Trying to keep the height of your bridge. You're not going to see much on this one, so you need to feel it. Maybe close your eyes and take your focus in, focusing on your glutes. Squeeze the two bum cheeks together as if you were holding a R1 coin between them, and then relax. Squeeze and relax. So your whole frame stays steady, and you're just squeezing the two glutes together, and then relaxing them. Squeeze and relax. Keeping your feet grounded, keeping the legs in parallel, trying not to lose the height of your bridge. Last squeeze. Then peel down one vertebra at a time, leading with the back of your ribs, not rushing your descent. Give yourself a moment once you've reconnected and found neutral. Draw your legs back up into table, either repeating the knee circles we did in the first round, or taking your legs into extension and this time tracing the circle with the tips of your toes on the ceiling. Maybe your circle is just a little bit bigger this time. Maybe it's somewhere between a tennis ball and a really small soccer ball. You keep moving in the same direction, inhaling for half, exhaling for half. Let's do one more in this direction, and then we'll change it up. And we'll trace the same circle, but in the opposite direction. Last one. Open up your legs into parallel, bend your knees, ground your feet. This time we're going to keep the head and the chest on the mat, and we're going to focus on the legs, drawing the legs up into a controlled tabletop. We're just going to do 5, but they are slow and very controlled. You're going to hold that parallel line through your feet and your knees the whole time, beginning in neutral spine and neutral pelvis. Big breath in, soft ribs, soft belly. On the exhale, as the ribs fall in, tilt to the 12 o'clock position. Use that tilt, that hollow frame, to pull your knees up into table and pause and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2. On the inhale, without making a sound, drop your feet back down to the mat and take a breather. On the exhale, scoop. Use the scoop to peel your legs up and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2. Relax back down. Not a sound as your feet reconnect to the mat. Floating softly back down. So use that scoop, that hollow belly, and round it back to pull your knees slowly into table. Hold there, trying to keep your lower and your mid back imprinted in the mat. Last one. Relax back down to the mat and set yourself up for your next bridge line. Articulate up with control, keeping your feet and your knees hip width distance apart. At the apex of your bridge, check for that long stretch. trying to maintain the height of your bridge. Start your movement with your knees in parallel, and you're not working wider than this parallel line. You're giving me a soft squeeze into an imaginary ball with your knees and back to parallel. Soft squeeze in and back to parallel. Don't flop the knees in and out and take them wide. Control the movement. So starting and ending each time in your parallel line. Try not to lose the height of your bridge. It's just a soft squeeze in to an imaginary soft soccer ball and then coming back into parallel. Keeping your chin relaxed towards your chest the whole time, not looking to the side of the room. Let's do 2 more squeezes and then we'll bring it down with control. So using the same amount of control to bleed back down 1 rib at a time. Take a recovery breath or 2. We're coming into some toe taps, and let's play on the left side of the body first. So drawing the legs into table, you're going to keep the right leg where it is, and we're going to toe tap on the left only. For the toe tap, don't hinge from the knee. I want you to hinge from the hip, either giving me a halfway drop or a full tap to the floor and back. All right, let's shoot for 10. Last one. You're going to ground both feet into the mat. We're going to work the same leg, the left leg. Tuck both hands behind your head in a surrender-like fashion. You're going to keep the left elbow on the floor, and you're going to give me a soft rotational twist on the right. So big breath in to prepare. On the exhale, you're going to draw your left knee up into table, and then you're going to give me a soft rotational twist on the right and come back down to the mat. Lifting and lowering 10 times with control, keeping the left elbow grounded. You're not forcing the knee and the elbow to meet. You're thinking of a controlled rotation through the top portion of your body. So think belly button up, twisting on the diagonal as if you wanted to float the right armpit closer towards the left knee. It's not about how close is the knee and the elbow coming. It's about, are you controlling your rotation, not throwing your body weight, and not actively pulling on your head or your neck in any way. Last one. Roll over onto the side of your body. Lifting and lowering the legs for 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. Relax the legs back down to the mat. We're going to do a lift, and then you're going to float off the bottom arm, sliding your leg along the leg as if you wanted to reach for your toes, and back down again. 5 times you're going to lift and reach and float down. Lift and reach and float down. Lift and reach, float down. Last time. Roll onto your back. We're going to come back into our toe taps. This time we're going to actively work the right side. Draw your legs into table. Single toe taps on the right, either halfway or all the way, but make sure you're hinging from the hip and not from the knee. So you want to feel the area south of your belly button as you tap up. Last one, we're going to work the same side. So the right leg is going to work again. Grounding your feet first, tucking both hands behind your head. You're going to keep your right elbow connected to the mat, and you're going to lift and twist left. So inhale to prepare. On the exhale, the right knee comes into table and you begin to cross on a diagonal and then tap back out 10 times. Last two, and then we're going to roll over onto side two. So my back is going to be towards you on this one. Use your bottom arm as a long pillow, and you can always give yourself a soft banana-like frame on the mat, just a soft banana. Lift and hold for 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, relax the legs back down. The next time you're going to lift legs and head, and you're going to reach the top arm for your toes and then float everything down. Lift legs and head, reach, bring it down. Don't rush, so I want a little pause as you reach and float down. Let's do two more, and then we'll find our way onto the back again. Last one. We're going to use a spinal roll, and you can do rolling like a ball or rocker or even seal. If rolling up and down on the spine is not happening for you today, you can just maybe give me a little cradle rock, and then when we come to a seat, you can just roll over onto the side and set yourself up in a seat. I'm going to play with rolling like a ball today, so either holding onto the knees or the shins, but you can mix it up. And you're going to start to rock the body up and down, giving me a hollow belly and a rounded back, allowing momentum to carry you back as far as your shoulder blades, and then rocking back up to your start position. Last one, we're going to set up a saw line from here, and we're going to play with the saw. So open up your feet, and make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. Feet are at least mat width distance apart. You're sitting up nice and tall with your shoulders stacked over your hips. Open up the arms into T. You're going to twist and you're going to pulse over the left foot as if you were reaching or stretching past it, keeping both arms nice and wide. You're going to give me 3 pulses. Inhale, come to the center. Exhale to do the same on the right. Rinse and repeat. Keeping both arms long and reaching and looking over the back shoulder for the back edge of the mat. Now bring it to 2 pulses. Last double pulse, and then we'll bring it to singles. So you're going to give me 1 long reach and hold for 10 seconds. Looking over that back shoulder as if somebody was standing behind you on the mat. Then last time, 1 single on side 2, hold for 10. Then float back towards the midline. Keep your legs where they are, but make sure that your feet are actually on the mat. We're going to bring it into a modified straddle lift. So let's play on the left side of the body first. You're going to place your left hand on the mat behind you. You're going to roll left, knife edging both feet, lifting your bum up off the mat, bringing your right arm overhead, then bring it back down and do the same on the right. Lifting your bottom off the mat, pressing off the arm on the side that you're rolling towards as you knife edge your feet, and maybe your feet are peeling just off the mat as you play. Bring that top arm nice and close to your ear so you can feel that work through the ribs, through the transverse muscles. Let's do 1 more to each side. Last one. Bring yourself back into a high seat on the mat. Float the 2 legs together. Flush along the midline if you can. You're going to start with the arms just in front of your hip line. You're going to give me a lean forward, framing your ears on either side, and come back to your start position 10 times. Almost think of trying to hook your chin over your toes as you lean forward, and then float your arms up nice and high so it feels like they're framing your ears on either side. Look for a long spine stretch, so beginning in your lower back and sort of bleeding up towards the shoulder line as you lean forward. Keep belly to spine the whole time. The last one. You're going to hold your next fold, looking for that long stretch from the lower back to the nape of the neck, trying to hook your chin over your toes. So almost thinking of a back line that's looking up towards the ceiling at about a 45-degree angle. And relax your fingertips to the mat. Bend your knees, ground your feet. Sit up nice and tall, almost using your hands to hug your knees or your shins in towards your thighs, looking for a long stretch through the spine. So think marionette, somebody pulling your crown towards the sky. Take a nice big inhale. And then on a lazy exhale, think of almost collapsing your frame. So you're thinking hollow belly, rounded back, looking down towards your pubis. We're going to do that 4 more times. Big inhale to sit up tall, almost hugging your knees in towards center. And then exhaling for a soft, almost slouching seated cat. Use your breath. Last one. We're going to end in our nice tall seat. Active feet, active knees, bringing your hands to prayer in gratitude to end off your practice for today. Thank you so much for coming out and joining me today. I do hope that you enjoyed today's class. Till next time, keep it light.